Hey guys, this is Apurvo with a new video on Adobe XD. Everything about UX is a channel where you can develop your creative skills from the word go. As always, please make sure to subscribe and let's get started. Today, I would be talking about component states in Adobe XD. Components allow you to make instances as well as override them. You can also call components as a master. The components can be nested as well as you can create states of these components. Let me open Adobe XD now and let's select Android. So it's taking a bit of time to open. So let me select Android mobile. So I would be creating a fully functional toggle button today. Let me change this to light gray. Let us take a rectangle and let us make rounded corners of this rectangle. Let us take the ellipse tool. Yeah, yeah, this looks fine. Now let us duplicate this ellipse. Both the circles are at proportion to each other. Now let's delete this ellipse as we are shown now how much the rectangle needs to be extended on both the sides. Now let's fill this. Let us remove the border. Now let's select all and right click. Click make component. We see a diamond symbol appearing which indicates that this is a component. Let's rename this to toggle button. So now let's create three states. One would be the hover state. The state 3 would be the clicked state. Let me go on to the hover state. Now let's take a darker shade. Yeah, so the difference is clearly visible. Now the clicked state would be the active state. So now let's move the circle over here and fill it with black color, and we can use blue color to fill this. Oops, so two. bring to front. Oh, it's not working. Just yeah. Now let me just change this color to blue. Now let me add the circle over here. Yeah, this looks fine. Now let's add the interaction in the prototype tab. The default state, we already have the interaction defined. The hover state, we need to add the interaction. Tapping action would be auto animate. State would be state 3. In state 3 now goes back to the default state. We'll add interaction. Tap auto animate. Default state. Ease out is 0.3. Now we need to select the default state while we click on to the desktop preview mode, so that the default state would be displayed in the prototype stage. So let's click on desktop preview. So let's see that on while I'm hovering the mouse on this circle, the color of the circle is getting changed. Now let me click. See, this is the active state and this is the inactive state. So this is really working very nicely. So this is a very easy way how we can exploit the components in the Adobe XD. Now let me take yet another example of how we can use components. So let me just duplicate this artboard. Just delete this. Let's make the fill to white. Let's take a rectangle, rounded corners. Fill needs to be blue. It should be white. Let's take an arrow. Let's group these arrows. Now let's fill this with white color. Now let's make this component, so we can see a diamond symbol is appearing. So this is a component. Now let's increase that. Now let's add a hover state. Let's increase the font size of this. Let's make it 30. Oops. Let's increase the size here as well. Let us ungroup this and adjust these arrows. We'll press Ctrl G as we have to make this as a group. Now we have two states, a default state and a hover state. Now let's go to the prototype tab and add interaction. For the default state, we already have the interaction defined. Now for the hover state, let's add the interaction. We'll use the trigger as hover, auto animate, choose state as default state. Now let's select the default state. Now let me hit desktop preview. See, this is working really nicely. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. Thanks and see you next time. Bye.